Hi Gemini, welcome to your reading for the 25th of May 2025. The energy that's coming up around you is of friendships, friends coming in from the past possibly, opportunities from the past, or things that you've thought of or are returning to. And these are true friendships. You have good friends, and there's one in particular that you're planning something with. Um, if there are several opportunities here in this reading too, so this could also be something that you may have thought wouldn't eventuate, or that you've only just started looking at again. So let's have a closer look. There's an opportunity right in front of you to do with something you're very capable of doing, and it's an expansion on your career. It would mean working more, and you may have to make a decision around that, but you have all of the skill, all of the knowledge, everything that you need to bring about a great victory. And this could even happen within the next 3 days. There does seem to be, though, a need for rest. The Five of Pentacles um, looks very negative, but in actual fact, it often comes up when people are on holidays or having a break. So you might be having a break and then taking on some other opportunities, but this could also be around children. Um, they are talking about 3 days, something occurring in 3 days and a great victory for you. But also, this, like everyone, is coming up to do with emotional lessons and a great victory over any emotional lessons that you may have been through. And this really is more about worry and fight. This is the card of fighting wars that don't exist. And up here, it's reflected in your line of thought to do with overthinking, a habit of overthinking, or a habit of worry or anxiety. And that would be very good to address at the moment. Everyone's going through this. But swords, even though, they look negative, they're actually thought, and you can change this in an instant. And also, these are final issues or final endings to do with these old patterns and programs. So I'd be working on clearing that if you possibly could, because these things that you're worrying about are not going to eventuate. Family looks very good here. And they're saying there's some achievement of something you've been working towards, a dream or a goal, and it looks like it works out very well financially for you. You have things on your path that may come in quite suddenly, but this is also to do with choices that you make to do with stepping onto a path that may happen quicker than you think. The King of Wands is coming up here. He is someone who you have a very close connection with. The Magician is to do with past life connections, someone on your level. It could be a partner. But success around this, of course, everyone has little glitches in their relationships, but this is showing hope and positivity to do with that. You may be feeling a bit emotional, and that is, reflected in this line of thought. But the key is to take time to yourself, but also be around groups of people. And we, because we have this Knight of Wands and friendships seem to be very important at the moment. You are being asked to look at what it's time to let go of to do with the past. And that's, to do with old things, like the way you're brought up and educated, your early part of your life, and trusting in yourself more. So this is about your connection with your higher self. And, you are very analytical in lots of ways. So asking, almost not going more into the analytical overthinking side, but trusting your heart and what feels right for you. Having trust in yourself. It's regaining your power in some way. This is the line of karma, and they're talking about you learning patience and also learning about boundaries and what is right for you. And that's to do with work. You may not want to take on all this work, but Geminis are very capable, of course, and this might be something that you want to throw yourself into. Some Geminis will probably need more rest. Other Geminis, there's these opportunities that they expand on. You do have a purpose on Earth to do with helping people or helping the Earth in some way, and there could be a new beginning around that, and this would be long term. It indicates success, and it being more. It's a step on the path, though. So this is sort of a long term, lifelong thing, really. But they're asking you to keep your hope and positivity and to have some goals. So it's about having a goal, reaching that goal, seeing the next goal, and continuing on that way, one thing at a time, I suppose, rather than overthinking and thinking there's too much going on. It's on hold at the moment, but you have some sort of opportunity around your home coming up here. This again could be long term, but the Ace of Wands next to the Hangman, or any ace next to the Hangman, means that suspension will be lifted soon. So if you're wanting to change your home or change things around your home, there's that opportunity there as well. So these are very good cards. So it's important to not overthink, to have some way of sinking back into yourself, into that space between thoughts, that feeling of peace, your happy place. So let's have a look a little bit closer at some of this. Oh. This is success, to do with opportunities and an increase in income. Very positive around finances, even though at the moment you may not feel that is happening. They're saying one of the keys, so this Five of Cups, he's looking at the negatives, but he really is doing very well. He's got 2 cups behind him. So gratitude, if he's grateful for those 2 cups, if you go into that feeling of gratitude, you tend to attract more of what you want. And it's important not to think of the negatives at the moment, to focus on the positives. And this brings about new beginnings that are long term and very positive, to do with groups of people, to do with your finances, to do with your work. If you're looking to expand on a business, this is wonderful. It's where people are very appreciative of you. You have this sort of big increase here to do with working. It's not just money out of the blue. It is to do with your skill and knowledge, and it's extremely positive. You have what appears to be luck with you. But this could be the beginning of something very long term, and it's a great victory, again, as I was saying. So you may be feeling like you don't have a lot of time for fun and pursuits to do with friendships and parties and things like that, but choose some things to do that bring you joy. I feel like you might be probably some of you are thinking about a new car, but the timing of that is important. You might be waiting until this sort of expansion on your career and more money comes in. But this is, carrying great responsibility. You are capable of carrying huge amounts of responsibility, and this brings about success. But don't, the end is in sight. It's coming up, and this is fun. It's work that you enjoy, and know that you have a lot more ability than a lot of people, and that you you can have this enormous success. And this is over, it's coming very soon. This is really 2 months. So the timing of it can vary depending on how you're thinking. If you're thinking in a negative way, then fear, the devil is fear, and fear blocks things. It stops things from happening. So try and clear some of that. They're saying, what is your passion? What do you love? What would you love to do? And it's not about just working for, an organization. It's more exciting than that. And you may not be starting this particular thing at the moment, but this might be something that's in the planning stages or you're thinking about. You could have people opposing you or thinking that this isn't a good idea, and you may refine it, but often when the Five of Swords comes up, it's really about other people's ideas about what you should be doing rather than what you want to do. And when you follow your passion, this can lead to much greater long-term financial success. Sometimes, people who are more engaged in just working for a large organization or something like that, they're not risk takers. So it's probably best just to keep these ideas to yourself. This is possibly other new opportunities, more to do with partnership and maybe your partner has an opportunity coming in as well. So there's greater financial, if you have one, there's greater financial consolidation here. And this is, again, long term. So extremely positive for finances and work and ideas and getting things moving in that area. You may be juggling more than one thing. And this could be a side hustle or something like that. But you're pretty good at that, Gemini. You get things done quickly. This is very interesting. When this comes up, the Magician and the High Priestess together. I'm seeing this a lot in readings that I'm doing for people one-on-one. It's an indication that you're a very old soul and that you come from much higher vibrations. So you really need to be careful of, this is sort of worrying about everything, the world. Just keep it more within your own bounds. That's why we can't read too much media or mainstream media or anything like that at the moment. Even looking at things on X or Facebook can bring about this sort of feeling of doom. So it's important to raise your vibration and stay in a vibration, the high vibration of love. You are very intuitive. You know things to do with, what's coming in, what's a good opportunity, what isn't, and also people. So you are being asked to go back into this state as much as you possibly can, especially at the moment because things are so chaotic. Don't overthink, go into balance. And I'm always saying, you need to pay attention to the physical body, the mental body, the emotional body, the spiritual body, all areas of your life, and balance them as much as you can. Again, people coming in from the past. So I really do feel like you have contact. I mean, it could just be online. You may hear through social media from some friends from the past. But those of you who are single also may be in the near future falling in love and making a choice around relationships. It is a very positive phase for love coming up, and also for family. So this is it's so important. I can't stress enough how much it is really important for you to put some sort of practice or positive energy into changing any anxiety or levels of negative emotions at the moment. So it's quite lovely. The other thing is to keep you. This doesn't look like a lot of travel at the moment. Possibly you're trying to save for that, or you're looking at your finances and wanting to travel. But this is having a goal to do with travel. And when judgment comes up, it's about what do you really want to do? And you can bring this about, the success here. You have to organize things, to do with your home. But it's in the line of karma, which means that there is travel throughout your life. And even though it may not be happening right at this moment, it will be happening again or into the future. So all of these, it's like double and triple negatives. You are changing and transforming old ways of thinking and being. And this is to do with worrying about what other people want or what they think about you, or reacting to situations and people. So the key is self-confidence and self-esteem, and putting yourself first in that way. Not worrying about what other people think or say or do, really standing in your true power. Well, homes come up 3 times here in this column, and there is a love of home. You may be a bit of a homebody. This could be about beautifying your home. This also is about working on your home in some way. Could be working from home because there is finances and money coming up around that. And this may be something that you haven't quite brought in yet, or is just about to happen. It's about organisation, being really orderly, organisation, and being in a position of leadership. It might be your business. It might be something you're starting yourself or continuing with. When we're talking about manifesting something, often the Four of Swords comes up, which is about manifestation and meditation and receiving blessings, because this person's being blessed by what looks like a saint or an archangel or something in the stained glass window. So you will be blessed with opportunities and with possibilities, but you may have to do it on your own. The Nine of Swords, yes, it looks negative, but in actual fact, you have all of the resources you need to step onto that path, but you may have to do it more on your own. And so the longer you stay in a state of, I'm not sure, it's sort of not really of benefit. It's better to do these things like meditation or like affirmations or things that will change this old pattern that's coming up here. You may think, oh, I'm not sure what I want. Often if we've had experiences that are negative, we're afraid to step into the new, and we may have ideas, but they stay ideas. This is in a way very Gemini, even though it's a water card, cups, because Geminis have so many ideas. So it's about choosing one and starting to work on that. It's time. But the things that have been on hold, that will be lifted. This could be an Aries woman helping you as well, but it not necessarily. It is the card of Aries on a fire sign woman, which is why I'm saying that. But it could be someone who is in a leadership position who's acting as a mentor, or it could be someone that you're observing and seeing how they've set things up. Of course, it doesn't apply to everyone. Not every Gemini is having the exact same life, but it's extremely positive and very good for friendships. I'm going to put something down here because when we get the Magician and the High Priestess, it's significant. So, and this is the card of starseeds, wanderers, light workers, and the intuition, your highly evolved knowledge of what lies beyond the veil. So we'll choose one of the starseed cards. All paths lead home. Interesting, because we've got so many cards about home here. Inner authority, intuition, turn your gaze within. Well, all of those things came up in the reading, really. So that's fairly self-explanatory. And turning your gaze within. As we find peace and positivity and joy within us, that extends into our outer world. Whatever state we're in internally tends to be reflected back to us through the world around us, the physical world. So start playing with it, start experimenting with it. You probably already are, but it's just a reminder. And then we will look a little bit at manifestation because that is coming up here as well. Well, this fits with this card. Only I know what is appropriate for me. And that, again, is coming back to what I was saying up here too. Put yourself first. What is right for you? Make a choice. Only I know what is appropriate to me, for me. Not listening to these naysayers, like I was saying before. No one knows what you know. And if I'd listened to all the naysayers when I started reading tarot, I would not be doing it. And I'm very glad that I didn't. So we'll look at, we might just put a card up here to do with how you can clear this energy. And it's only thought. Of course, it's easier to change your subconscious belief system through meditation, hypnotherapy, rapid eye technology, tapping, emotional freedom technique, meditation, and then you automatically think positively. Whereas if you've got, fears that haven't been even acknowledged, they bubble up into your thoughts and create havoc. Island. Solitude, independence, isolation. Find peace in solitude and independence. I feel at the moment you need people around you, but I guess they're reminding you that you do need that time to yourself as well. And possibly a lot of you don't have a lot of time to yourself. So you might be making space for that. Gemini traditionally is the twins, and astrologically is the twins, and it's, you tend to like being with at least one person, but it is lovely to have time to yourself as well. So I guess they're talking about making space for that. Mountain, major challenge to overcome. This isn't really a major challenge though. It is around thought. So things may seem insurmountable, but in actual fact, you can change them very quickly. I was talking about friendship. A distant friend is thinking of you. This might be someone you hear from. Oh, how interesting. We've got two cards of the dog, protection from a powerful friend. Well, friendship is really the message here, isn't it? Friendship and an extremely positive cards around business. This is really in the short term, but also the long term. It's extremely good. So this could be. They're actually talking here about new beginnings over the next 5 years, but this is in the near future. So this increase in income. So it's extremely good around money too. But friendship, loyalty, friendship, true friends. These are all coming up as possibly the main theme here, and but also this sort of independent thinking and knowing what you know, knowing what's right for you. So really good cards, Gemini. I think things are going really well for you, and I will see you next week. Bye.